What up, everybody? It's Tuesday, September 28th, and on my way to do the whole weekly club thing. Hopefully tonight will be a good night. They're supposed to have a little event going on, so hopefully it'll bring in a crowd. But sorry about the whole camera moving around crap when I drive. I somehow misplaced the window mount that I have to mount it on the windshield. But I was looking into doing some research or whatever on the issue with the VMS4. I left a few messages with American DJ, or excuse me, not American DJ, American Audio, because with my work schedule, it makes it really hard to contact them before their office closes since I started work again, so I just kind of left it alone. And somebody left a comment saying to make sure it's on 4 out instead of 8, which I did when I was setting up that night. But I couldn't figure out what was going on. Kept trying all kinds of different things and watched the video that the UK team for American DJ made on how to set it up out of the box with the virtual DJ limited edition software. And something that kind of caught my attention was he said to make sure it's on 4 out instead of 8 before you even power it on after you get everything hooked up. So I set everything back to the way more or less it comes out of the box, and then did that, and everything worked fine. But I noticed that once you power it up, you can't switch the outputs on the sound card. So if you power it up with 8 out and switch it to 4 without turning it off, it won't change. It'll stay on 8 out instead of 4. So it actually was my own mistake, since unfortunately, the case still isn't even released yet. They're not going to release the case for this till November, so I still carry it by hand. And that night when I set up and it wasn't working, I noticed it was on 8 out, so I switched it back to 4, and it was still doing the same thing. But I didn't know that if you're going to switch the sound card from 4 out to 8 out, you have to power it off, which is kind of like I guess you could say a reset. But yeah, because you can't change the outputs for the sound card with the power on. I guess once you power it up, it's set and you can't change it. Maybe for that simple issue, like if you're doing a gig or something and you bump the sound card switch, it'll so it doesn't switch on you and then mess up all your outputs and everything. So, needless to say, now that I've been talking forever, that it was just a simple mistake on my part, which kind of sort of, I guess you could say I panicked because I got there a little later than I like to get there, and I didn't have time to be worrying about that not working. So I immediately left went back home to get the spin. But hopefully tonight's a good night. Take some video, and yeah, that's it. I kind of forgot one of the subscribers. I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now, but he asked for a better look at the skin I had made. So, well, get some light on it so you can actually see it. Really the only thing I added was my logo, as well as 2 Apple logos in either corner, and American Audio on the top and on the sides, because when you make the skin, it's just a flat color, more or less, whatever color. You make it any color you want. I just took a base color of black. But he was asking about the glow on the, I forgot what option it's under, but when you go to make the skin. But it might be that it makes it glow in the dark. That would be awesome. If had I known that, I would have done it. But I know unless you select it, none of the labels will, as far as I know, they won't print any of the labels. Everything that's labeled now would actually be blank. But yeah, hopefully I have some interesting stuff tonight, and we'll film it then.
free to make those show it up. Feel like Lego. Feel like Lego. Feel like Lego.
It's another fabulous empty night here at a lot of people at the bar. Got some people playing pool, but that's about it. Nobody dancing, so hopefully they'll start soon enough. But we'll see. We actually got a few people dancing surprisingly, but they're more or less dancing with the go-go girl. But that's okay. At least they're dancing. It's there's quite a few people in here, but not many people are dancing. Really all we got going is the go-go dancers, and that's it. But hopefully it's still pick up in the next 2 hours. What up, everybody? It's a little later than usual. It's 3:30 in the morning. I got off at 2. I ended up staying for a little bit. I probably should have recorded it, but I didn't for some reason. I kind of just stuck around, I guess you'd say, did a little MCing for the most part, while one of the bartenders just played random songs off a CD, and actually everybody that was in there was having a really good time, and it just, I guess you could say it turned into an after party. But and, you know, technically the only reason I stayed to an extent is because I had to be to work in 2 hours, and I didn't plan on going to bed, so I'll be working on an empty tank. But Red Bull gives you wings, so we'll see how that works. But yeah, as far as upcoming gigs, I have one the 9th, like I've been mentioned before, and then I might have one on the 10th, which is supposed to be a big party or a wedding or something that I'll be doing with DJ Godzilla. I got a couple of parties up in the air for October itself, but not anything really locked in for sure. It's just more or less they called to see if I was available, but didn't really lock in a date or a time. But more or less, I'll have a few parties coming up that are going to be Halloween parties and everything. But as soon as I get it, I'll get it posted. But yeah. Until next time.